Sri Gurubhyo Nama children, welcome to online class. Today I am going to start with geography. The topic is agriculture. Before starting with the topic, I wanted to give the introduction about the topic. Or do you know that nearly the main occupation of our country is agriculture? Nearly 2/3 of the population depends on agriculture. Moreover, agriculture produces food and raw materials for industries. Agriculture and industry together enriches the economic development of the country. So, this is the introduction part. Now, I am going to go inside the lesson, and to start with the first unit is we are going to discuss about the factors which are responsible for farming. So, we are going to discuss about the factors which are responsible for farming. There are 4 main factors which are responsible for farming. The first one is relief feature. So, relief feature is nothing but type of landforms. We are having different types of landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, coastal areas, etc. So, relief features play a greater role in the farming activity. The second one is climate. So, climate of a place also very important for the farming activities. The third one is technological know-how. Availability of technology also plays a greater role in the farming activity. The fourth one is socio-cultural practices. The society and the cultural, what are the practices which are carried over by the cultured people there, all these also play a greater role for the farming activity. The next, we are going to talk about the types of farming. So, I have discussed about the factors responsible for farming activities, that is relief feature. Second one is climate. The third one is technological know-how. The fourth one is socio and cultural practices. The next one is we are going to talk about the types of farming. When you talk about the types of farming, there are 4 main types of farming. The first one is primitive subsistence farming. The second one is intensive subsistence farming. The third one is commercial farming. The fourth one is plantation farming. So, there are 4 main types of farming. The first one is primitive subsistence farming. The second one is intensive subsistence farming. The third one is commercial farming. And the fourth one is plantation farming. Now, we are going to discuss about the features of different types of farming in our country. So, to start with, I have taken the primitive subsistence farming. We are going to discuss the important characteristic features of primitive subsistence farming. The first feature is it is practiced in small areas. So, when you talk about the practice of primitive subsistence farming, it is done in small areas. The second one, it is also called as slash and burn agriculture. The other name for primitive subsistence farming is slash and burn agriculture, because they are not going to live in that particular place. Only for a few years they will be in that particular place. They will be cultivating their land. Once when the land degrades, they will move to some other place, and once again they will be clearing the fresh patch of land for cultivation. The next one is family members are laborers. So, they cannot hire the laborers from outside. So, the family members, they will divide the work, and they will do they are playing a greater role in farming activity. The next one is they will be using primitive tools. So, they will be having digging sticks, pointed stones, etc. So, I have given hoe, dowel and digging sticks. So, all these are used by these people in order to do the farming activity. The next one is they depend on monsoon. So, they were unable to invest for the irrigation facilities. So, they are completely dependent on monsoon and natural fertility of the soil. The next one, as they are going to produce crops for their own family, so productivity is very less. Whatever they need, they will produce. So, productivity is less. The next one, they are not able to use manures and fertilizers. They are not going to use manures and fertilizers. And the last point is when the fertility of the land decreases, they will move from that place, and they will move to the other place. Once again, they will clear the fresh patch of land for cultivation. So, features, once again I will be explaining. it is practiced in small areas. The next point is, it is also called as slash and burn agriculture. And family members are acting as laborers here. They are not going to hire the laborers from outside. The family members, they will divide the work in the farming activities. The next one, primitive tools are used by the members like dao, hoe and digging sticks. The next one, they are not going to get irrigation facilities as they are completely depending on monsoon, and natural fertility of the soil. And as they are going to produce only for their family, so they cannot aim for maximum production, only low productivity is possible. The next one is, they are not going to use manures and fertilizers. Then our last point, when the fertility of the land decreases, once again they will be completely moving from that place. They will move to the new place, and once again they will clear a fresh patch of land for cultivation. So these are the important features of primitive subsistence farming. The next, we are going to talk about how this primitive subsistence farming is called in different names in India as well as in other countries. How this slash and burn agriculture is called in different names in India as well as in other countries. So now I am going to explain about the different names of slash and burn agriculture in our country. So when you move to Madhya Pradesh, this slash and burn agriculture is called as Bevar or Dahiya. So in Madhya Pradesh, it is called as Bevar or Dahiya. In Andhra Pradesh, it is called as Podu or Penda. So in Andhra Pradesh, Podu or Penda. In Odisha, it is called as Koman or Bringa. So in Odisha, it is called as Koman or Bringa. In Western Ghats, it is called as Kumari. So in Western Ghats, it is called as Kumari. So when you move to Southeast Rajasthan, it is called as Valor or Walter. So in Southeast Rajasthan, Valor or Walter, whereas in Himalaya, it is called as Kil. So in Himalaya, it is called as Kil. In Jharkhand, it is called as Kuruva. So it is called as Kuruva in Jharkhand, and it is called as Juming in northeastern regions. So in northeast regions, it is called as Juming. Now we are going to say how this slash and burn agriculture is called in different names in other countries. For example, when you move to Mexico and Central America, so in Mexico and Central America, it is called as Milpa. In Venezuela, it is called as Conuco. So in Venezuela, it is called as Conuco. In Central Africa, it is called as Mazol. So it is called as Mazol in Central Africa. Ladang in Indonesia. So it is called as Ladang in Indonesia. In Vietnam, it is called as Re. So in Vietnam, the slash and burn agriculture is called as Re, whereas in Brazil, it is called as Roca. So in Brazil, it is called as Roca. So like this, the slash and burn agriculture is called in different names in other countries. The next one, we are going to talk about the other important type of farming, that is intensive subsistence farming. So the first feature is, it is practiced in large areas. So we need large areas to do the intensive subsistence farming. Then again, next one is labor intensive. So we have to hire the laborers from outside. So labor requirement is greater. The next one is irrigation has to be provided. We cannot depend on monsoon, so irrigation facilities has to be provided by digging canals or by digging dew wells. The next one, as we are going to produce greater, we have to use biochemical inputs like chemical fertilizers, HYV seeds, etc. As we are going to produce greater, we have to use biochemical inputs like HYV seeds, fertilizers and insecticides, etc. The next one, as we are going to fasten the production process, so we have to we cannot use ordinary tools, so we have to go for modern technology. So we are going to use machines like tractors, harvesters and threshers, etc. for each farming activity in order to speed up the production process. The last one, due to right to inheritance, that is, as the land has been divided, among the successive generations, that is right to inheritance. So the size of the land holdings is becoming smaller as the land has been divided according to right to inheritance. The size of the land holdings is becoming smaller, but the people, even though the size of the land is getting smaller, they wanted to produce maximum output. So even though the size of the land is smaller, they wanted to produce maximum output. So all these are the features of intensive subsistence farming. So once again I will repeat, it is practiced in large areas. The second one is labor intensive process. The third one is irrigation has to be provided. The fourth one, biochemical inputs are used like HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers. The next one, machines are used for every farming activity. The next one, land holdings are becoming smaller due to right to inheritance. At the same time, they wanted to get maximum output. So all these are the features of intensive subsistence farming. Already we have discussed about the first two types of farming, that is primitive subsistence farming and intensive subsistence farming. Now we are going to discuss about the third type of farming, which is known as commercial farming. So the third type of farming is known as commercial farming. We are going to see the features of commercial farming. From the name itself, it is understood that commercial means for business, for profit. So definitely this type of farming gives more profit for the investor. So here this commercial farming is particularly practiced for commercial purposes. So as their main aim is getting more profit, so it is used for commercial purpose. The second point is labor intensive. So they have to engage greater number of laborers. So more laborers are needed for commercial farming. The third one is capital intensive. So a person has to invest greater in order to get high returns. So capital intensive. The next point is high productivity. So productivity is also going to become greater. So high productivity, they can aim for high productivity. The next point is irrigation has to be provided. So here they cannot depend on monsoon. So irrigation facilities have to be provided in the fields. The next one is biochemical inputs. As they are completely practiced for commercial purpose, as their main aim is getting more profit, so they are going to use biochemical inputs like HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers and pesticides, etc. And machines play a greater role in every farming activity in commercial farming. So machines also play a greater role. So they are going to use machines like tractors, etc. in order to speed up the production activities. For example, when you talk about Punjab and Haryana, so rice is cultivated as a commercial crop in Punjab and Haryana. So once again I will repeat the features. The first feature is it is practiced for commercial purposes. So only for profit they are going to practice this type of farming. The next one is labor intensive. So they are going to hire greater number of laborers, agricultural laborers. The next one is capital incentive, that is intensive, that is capital requirement is greater here. The next one is high productivity. They are going to get high returns, high production. The next one, irrigation has to be provided. They cannot depend on monsoon. So irrigation facilities have to be provided by digging bore wells. The next one, biochemical inputs are used like chemical fertilizers, pesticides, etc. The next one, machines play a greater role in this type of farming activity, that is commercial farming. So machines play a greater role. For example, when you talk about Punjab and Haryana, rice is cultivated as a commercial crop in Punjab and Haryana. The next one we are going to discuss about the plantation farming. The last type of farming in our country is plantation farming. So plantation farming, that is first feature, single crop in a large field. So a particular crop is grown in the entire field. A particular crop is grown in the entire field. A single crop will be there in the entire field. The next one, it is also a labor intensive, so they have to hire greater number of agricultural laborers. The next one, capital investment is also greater, so capital intensive, so they have to produce, they have to invest greater capital. The next one, irrigation has to be provided, so irrigation facilities, definitely this type of farming also requires irrigation facilities. Therefore, so by digging bore wells, they can give the irrigation facilities to the land. The next one, they need a well developed system of transport and communication. Communication and transport plays a greater role in plantation farming because some of the products here are perishable products. For example, when you take banana is a plantation. It can be cultivated as a plantation farming, in plantation farming. So banana, when you talk about banana, it can be perished easily. So they need quick means of transport and communication. So transport and communication plays a greater role for the faster delivery of perishable goods from one place to other place. And the other point is, what are the products produced in plantation farming? These products are used in industries. But the products which are produced in plantation farming are used in industries. The next one, they also need biochemical inputs like HIV seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, etc. So, like other types of farming, like intensive farming and commercial farming, even plantation farming also requires biochemical inputs like HIV seeds, chemical fertilizers and insecticides. And one more point, industries and markets are playing a greater role to promote plantation farming. So, when you talk about the promotion of plantation farming, industries and markets, so industries play a greater role in the development of plantation farming. At the same time, market facilities also greatly required for the promotion of plantation farming. Example, when you talk about the plantation farming, the crops grown in plantation farming are, it can be tea, coffee, banana, rubber, etc. All these are produced as plantation crops in plantation farming.